Already the visit of Chelsea to Anfield was being talked about as a crucial match in the English Premier League. Chelsea arrived just 2 points behind the leaders Arsenal, while Liverpool couldn't afford to lose more ground in the title race. Roy Evans' talented side, who promised so much, were stuttering once again at the highest level. Numerous Liverpool absentees didn't help their cause. Jamie Redknapp, Øyvind Leonardsen, Mark Wright and Dominic Matteo were all missing. A 17-year-old youngster by the name of Michael Owen was on the bench. Player-manager Ruud Gullit named himself as one of Chelsea's substitutes. French international Frank Leboeuf was suspended. Mark Hughes returned in attack. It promised to be an engaging fixture, and there was a real belief, certainly from the travelling contingent, that Chelsea could come away with a positive result. Traditionally, though, Anfield was a far from happy hunting ground for them. The Blues had won just 5 times in 54 visits. Your match commentator is John Champion.
As always, a high-octane occasion. A meeting of 2 of last season's top 6. With a chance to assess their relative merits this time around. Still the early stages of the season. Each has played 8 games in the English Premier League. And Chelsea have made the sort of start that Liverpool would like to have made. Chelsea 5 wins, a draw and 2 defeats. Liverpool have lost twice but have won only 3 of their 8 games. Bernard Lombard, one of the 3 Chelsea central defenders. Here's Petrescu. Dennis Wise tangling with Paul Ince. We'll be saying that a few times this afternoon. Here's Lasso. Gus Poyet looking to release Lasso down that left side. And despite the best efforts of Bjorn Torrekwama, that's a corner. Fowler on his blocks. And David Ellery is pointing to the mark on the pitch, which we now have, which shows how far 10 yards is from the corner flag. Di Matteo. Not really a threat to David James's goal. Chelsea beaten just once in their last 7 English Premier League games. And of course won 2-0 at Slovan Bratislava on Thursday in the Cup Winners' Cup. 4-0 on aggregate, they go through. And next they face Tromsø. Carragher. Bjørneby. McManaman. Bjørneby. Ince. Liverpool have lost twice already. 2-1 at West Ham last weekend. 2-1 here against Leicester back in August. Rob Jones. Lovely touch from Zola. Here's Poyet. Chelsea getting bodies forward. And that's well plucked out of the air by James. And immediately bowled out to Steve McManaman. Oh, Lombard could be in trouble here. It's going to be a yellow card. The first of the game issued by the Harrow schoolmaster, David Ellery. No attempt to play the ball. And Bernard Lombard, the signing from Bordeaux, has his name taken. There's Riedler! That's his speciality. And it drew a good save from De Hoey. Man who scored twice earlier this year in the Champions League final. His final appearance for Borussia Dortmund. De Hoey away. Oh, Fowler! And still, weak shot. It's been a bright and breezy opening to this fixture. Rarely dull. Chelsea got men back between Fowler and De Hoey's goal. Ince. Looking for Patrick Berger. Lasso beaten by the bounce! And De Hoey beaten by Berger. Really nicely taken. Lasso left red-faced. But this player of undeniable talent from the Czech Republic, Patrick Berger, has lobbed Liverpool in front. Roy Evans up off the bench. McManaman. Wise. Oh, down goes Farmer. It's play on, and Zola can equalise here. Now there'll have to be an inquest, because Liverpool certainly stopped. Even Zola had a couple of looks back at the referee, because Mark Hughes seemed to take out Bjorn Tore Kvama, and that left Zola unopposed. David Elleray saw nothing wrong and has allowed the goal to stand. Look, Zola was expecting a whistle, which never came. And then all he had to do was make sure the goalkeeper committed himself, keep his own feet, and roll it into an untended net. Di Matteo. Still plenty of unrest around this stadium at the manner of the equalising goal. McManaman. Oh, blocked off by Lombard, who has already been cautioned, and David Elleray is not in the mood to show any mercy. Chelsea are down to 10. Similar offence to the first one, and the player manager is going to have to come on. There will need to be a sacrifice here, because Hullet will come on and play at the back. Second cautionable offence by Bernard Lambord. And it's Zola who gets the pat on the back from Graham Rix. He's withdrawn to allow Ruud Hullet to come on at the age of 35. Kiss of the crucifix. Hoping to bring himself some good fortune. Chelsea will be up against it now. Tough enough at Anfield with 11, let alone 10. Carragher. Fowler. The ultimate team man, Zola. He's rather more interested than Vialli. McManaman. Here's Karl-Heinz Riedler. Rob Jones. Ince. Liverpool looking to build on last season's fourth place finish. 7 behind the champions Manchester United. Same number of points as both second place Newcastle and third place Arsenal. There's Fowler! Jones played it in. Fowler made a good run, couldn't control the header. Wise. It's Berger. Yes. McManaman. Bjørneby. And again, sticking of Bjørneby. Berger! It's as crisply taken a goal as you'll see. Super interplay involving McManaman and Bjørneby down the left. First time hit with what is supposed to be Patrick Berger's weaker foot. He and Liverpool have scored twice. £3.25 million from Borussia Dortmund. Made a real impact at Euro 96. That's where Liverpool first decided that they liked what they saw. It. Berger scored 2 against Chelsea here last season in a 5-1 romp, and he's repeated the trick this time around, although whether it will end up 5-1 remains to be seen. Di Matteo. Lasso. Wise. And Di Matteo was dawdling. Berger. Fowler and Riedler for company. McManaman gaining ground. Sinclair in the way for Chelsea. Petrescu. Hughes. Wise. Oh, down goes Poyet and appeals furiously to David Ellery for a penalty. Not normally the most demonstrative of players, but he had a case there. He was bundled over by Rob Jones. David Ellery doesn't get many wrong, but I think he was at fault there. Chelsea free kick. And Poyet. And Chelsea can consider themselves a little hard done by. Really should have had a penalty. Vialli doing some warming up. Not with any great purpose. Di Matteo. Bullet. That's where it ends for the first half. David Ellery might well have given a penalty to Chelsea, but Liverpool lead at the break by 2-1 here at Anfield. Change by Liverpool. Rob Jones has a calf strain, and so Jason McAteer is on for the start of the second half. Riedler and Fowler get Liverpool underway. Now attacking the Kop end. There's Carragher. Liverpool's next engagement in the English Premier League after the international break is a trip to Goodison for the derby against Everton. And then they head off to West Bromwich Albion for the third round of the League Cup. Bjørneby. McManaman. McAteer. Fowler. Mark of respect between Fowler and Wise. Use of the chest. The shot was a bit wayward in the end. Berger. Ince. Bjørneby. Fowler, well, it got a block on it. Steve McManaman, driving one. Comfortable save for De Hoey. Pull it. Cross comes Babb for Liverpool. Chelsea have won just 5 times on this ground. This is their 55th visit. And they've lost their last 5 league games here. Mark Hughes with the acrobatic effort. His trademark over the years. Quite a few of them have flown into the back of the opposition net too. Not today. Rapidly approaching his 34th birthday. Oh, and here's Berger. Round the goalkeeper! And in! Patrick Berger has a hat-trick. And surely there's no way back, even with half an hour or so to play for Chelsea now, not with 10 men. It's a hat-trick for Patrick. And Liverpool lead by 3 goals to 1. That'll do nicely for Roy Evans. The save. Blocked was by Robbie Fowler. At least the arrival of Flo gives Chelsea a bit of height to aim for. Lasso. Poyet came off McManaman. And Chelsea still pressing for a goal. Wise. Sinclair. It's Babb. Lasso. Steve Clark. Collins. And Fowler. McManaman. Riedler wants it played. Riedler has it, but is dispossessed by Steve Clark. And now it's with Roberto Di Matteo. Chelsea having to deal today with the suspension of Franck Leboeuf. We'll next have to deal with the ban for Bernard Lombourd as a result of his dismissal today. Here's Hullet. In his 3rd season as a player with Chelsea, his 2nd season as player-manager. Pretty successful first campaign. 6th place and a win in the FA Cup final. Fowler. Here's Berger. Fowler! That's a popular goal for the Cop. And this time, the scorer of the hat-trick is the provider for Robbie Fowler. Speed of the break, too much for Chelsea to cope with. Berger's incisive run, and the ball went in off the heel of Steve Clark, but Fowler will claim it. Don't ever doubt that. Pull it. Farmer. Well, it's a run of which McManaman and company would have been proud. Here's Fowler. Picked off by Clark. And Pullet has stayed upfield. Either he's too old to get back or just can't be bothered. It could work to his advantage. Here he is. Oh, I was about to say, here he is. Well, there he was. And he's blaming his studs. Even great players can fall over. Wise. Pullet has stayed forward. Will remain upfield now, given the match situation. There's Flo. McManaman. Guilty of fouling Di Matteo. Worth one more look, unless your name is Ruud Gullit. Oh, and Hughes didn't seem to have the courage of his convictions. He appeared to be within reach. McManaman. Di Matteo. Wise. No foul seen by referee Ellery. It's Ince. It's too strong for Steve McManaman. Well, a win today for Liverpool, particularly a handsome win, will make it a reasonable start to the season. They'll move to within 1 point of Chelsea in the English Premier League table. Here's Flo. Possibilities for him, but he's pulled it. Chances have been few and far between for Chelsea in the second half. Sending off of Bernard Lombard midway through the first period always made this a mountainous task. Wise. And Flo goes down under the challenge of Carragher. And nothing is given. Well, Chelsea might well have had a penalty in the first half, and they feel they should have had one in the second. Riedler. Pullet. Foul by Berger. Dennis Wise. Here's Flo. Goes down again. Oh, and this time it is a penalty. And what's more, it's a yellow card for the miscreant Jason McAteer. Oh, is that any more of a penalty than the two that David Ellery turned down? This will merely be window dressing. Scant consolation. And that's if he scores. It's the Uruguayan, Gus Poyet, and it's 4-2. Which is perhaps a more accurate reflection of the way the game has gone. Pullet. Clark. Chelsea content just to play out time. They've accepted that they're second best on the day, not helped by the dismissal of Lombard. And Liverpool will be very content with the way things have panned out for them. Search to regain the league title. They've had to wait since 1990, but they must be in with a shout this year. A hat-trick from Patrick Berger, the centrepiece of an impressive victory today.